Welcome back into Christopher's Kitchen. Our recipe of the day is something out of the norm as far as the chicken noodle soup, the cream of mushroom soup that you may prepare from time to time. This time we go to black bean soup.
Black bean soup. We've got it on our new menu this summer, for our spring and summer menu, and I thought I'd show you how to do it. First thing, I've taken some black beans and I've soaked these, okay? You can soak them overnight. Generally, they only take about 3 hours. I actually quick soaked these, which means I put them in water and boiled them for about 5 minutes and then covered them for about an hour. We always have to have some bacon to start off with, so I'm going to chop some bacon here. Just got 4 slices of bacon. Now we don't want huge pieces in here. We are going to puree part of this soup. Now we're going to use some serrano peppers in this. We're going to cook these beans with serrano peppers. What we want to do is we just want to split them so it gets some of the heat in there. Just like that. Okay? We're going to leave them together so we can pull it out. We don't have to pull out as many things. I'm going to put these over here. We've got 5 cloves of garlic, some bay leaf, chili powder. I'm actually going to start this bacon off in just a little bit of butter. Add in the garlic and the onions. So I've got my 2 pounds of beans here that I'm going to go ahead and add. And this is a lot of soup. You can make less. I've got 3 quarts of liquid. We're going to add 2 quarts at a time and use the last quart to adjust for consistency. So I'm just going to bring this to a boil and then let it simmer. I'm going to add our serrano peppers now. Got serrano peppers, a little bit of cumin powder, bay leaf, a little bit of chili powder. I'm going to go ahead and add about a half a cup of chopped cilantro also. Okay, just going to mix that around so the spices get going, get stirred in there nice. Like I said, we're going to bring that to a boil and then just let it simmer for about 2 hours. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper at this stage also because my stock doesn't have any seasoning. Now, our black beans have simmered for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. The beans are tender. I'm just going to adjust the thickness because I want this to be a little bit soupier. I'm just going to add a little bit more stock to adjust that consistency. Okay, and cool it off a little bit so I can puree it. I'm going to take the bay leaf out. And I'm going to look for the serrano peppers and take those out, but I'm going to chop at least one of them. I'm going to chop them up and put them back in there. I just want to make sure they get pureed. Okay, I think that's the consistency I want. And I'm going to bring that over to the counter and we're going to puree part of that. Now, a hand blender works really good for this, but you want to be very, very careful whenever you're blending hot liquid. You almost might let this cool down to room temperature a little bit. If you don't have a hand mixer, you can use a blender, but I would definitely recommend doing it just a little bit at a time. I'm only going to puree, if you're going to do it in a blender or a food processor, only do about a third of the beans you want to puree. The rest you want kind of whole so it makes a nice consistency. And also, don't use a lot of broth when you're pureeing it in the blender or the food processor. That way it doesn't spew up, okay? But we're just going to use a little hand blender here and get some of that pureed. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this stop of black bean soup, nice and thick. Okay. It's great. Now at the restaurant we use some lime sour cream. This is just sour cream mixed with a little lime juice. Okay. Something like that. And we also use a pork flauta, okay? This is shredded pork meat, deep fried in a flour tortilla. Use a little pico de gallo there, a pork flauta, and just a little bit of cilantro on top. Okay? We serve it just like that. And it is a really tasty dish. Taste that with a little bit of the pico.
All right. Just a little dab of that.
Really good.
Yeah, that is a delicious. I need some cornbread too. And if you'd like to access this recipe, it's one of the most popular features at kbtx.com. It's called Christopher's Kitchen. That's where we have all the recipes posted for the black bean soup and any other of the creations that we come up with right here with Christopher Lampo live in Christopher's Kitchen.